This one change can be the single reason your Airbnb turns into a 6-figure business. I've broken down this change into a simple but effective 3-step process that any Airbnb listing can do to dramatically stand out from all the competition and rank at the top of page 1 in the search results. And this can in turn skyrocket your demand, max out your occupancy, and even allow you to charge higher prices. But without this change, your listing could remain lost on Airbnb, struggling to get found, and never reaching its full potential. Now, getting your listing to stand out on Airbnb is difficult. With so many other listings to choose from now, markets are starting to become overly saturated, and competition is only going to grow more and more fierce.
Prepare yourself for a fight that's coming.
I don't want that.
But want to know who's not affected by the competition, regardless of how saturated the market is? All the listings that are ranked at the top of Airbnb's search result. That's right, just by being ranked high up on Airbnb, these listings are often performing in the top percentile, earning significantly higher revenue and remaining fully booked all year round. But sadly, this success does not carry on with all the listings that don't rank well on Airbnb. In fact, with every drop from the #1 spot, each listing below it gets a fraction of the views compared to the one above it. This is just the harsh reality of how search engines work. So with ranking high up on Airbnb being so important, how do you get your listing to the top of Airbnb search results? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, which is one simple change to your listing. And no, this is not some how to hack the Airbnb algorithm BS. This is a real strategy I use within my property management company and what we use to consistently get all of our listings ranked at the top of Airbnb in their market. The best part is you can increase your prices and not even be a super host, but still rank #1 with this strategy. And this one change is increasing your click-through rate. And this is the percentage of people who click on your listing out of all the people who came across it. Yep. Just by increasing your listing's click-through rate, you can climb your ranking all the way to the first page and even up to the #1 spot. Why is this? You see, Airbnb has revealed that their ranking algorithm is actually an interest algorithm. This means that whichever listings are able to generate the most interest, these listings will rise up the ranks and get featured as the top search results. They care so much about this that they've even redesigned their platform to put less emphasis on things like property names or locations and more emphasis on the different types of interesting places you can find on Airbnb. This is why the metrics you should not be focused on is just racking up more 5-star reviews on Airbnb or trying to have the most competitive prices. So your absolute top priority should be to increase your listing's click-through rate. And to do this, you have to take all the people scrolling through Airbnb and capture their attention.
Right over here, Chad.
And just like on YouTube with the influence of video thumbnails, over 90% of what people see and how they decide to click is solely based on your listing's cover photo. This means that you need what we in marketing call a winning picture. This is essentially a picture of your product, or in this case, vacation rental, which is able to achieve the highest click-through rate possible. And this is so important because regardless of how much effort you put into your listing, your property, or your customer service, you can't actually get a single booking until you can get somebody to click first. So you know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, for Airbnb, this one picture could be worth 6 figures and be the single biggest determinant of your entire business's success. Need proof? Well, then check out this Airbnb. It's not just ranked at the top of their area or their entire state, but in the entire country of the United States. And they achieved this by having an absolute winner of a picture that makes their listing stand out from all the competition. And no, I'm not just referring to their epic view. In fact, to prove it, here are 5 identical cabins in the exact same area with the exact same view. Now, selecting the exact same dates across these 5 properties on Airbnb, you could see that this one is averaging $157 a night. This one's averaging $187 a night. This one's doing a bit better at $334 a night. This one's doing even better at $430 a night. But this one here, this one is averaging $1,120 a night on Airbnb. And their calendar is almost entirely booked out over 8 months into the future. That means that this tiny 80 square foot A-frame cabin is generating over $400,000 per year on Airbnb. So how do you get some of the success for yourself? Do you need to just get professional photos?
No!
That's right. Contrary to what everyone else would tell you, the answer is not to just go out and hire a professional photographer. Simply just upgrading your photos from iPhone shots to professional photography is not enough to just suddenly surpass all your competition. Almost every listing now has professional photography, and so to beat them, it's not about the quality of photos you have, it's about what photos you actually take. I see so many great Airbnb properties that could likely be ranking much higher if their cover photo didn't feature a gray cloudy day, a random interior shot, or not even showing the building sampling it all of which we found to perform worse for click-through rate on Airbnb. Okay, so which photos are you supposed to take then? Well, this is a new strategy that we created for both determining the best photos to take of your property and how to actually choose which one to set as your cover photo. Now, before I get into the strategy, if you could just hit the like button, it would help me so much in beating the YouTube algorithm. Now, I've broken this strategy into 3 basic steps. Step 1 is to first determine which style of photos perform the best at getting the highest click-through rates for Airbnbs. Now, we've analyzed hundreds of listings and actually found that these 10 photo styles are what most often perform the best on Airbnb as cover photos. Number 1, the twilight shot. Number 2, the sunray shot. Number 3, the symmetrical shot. Number 4, the sunset shot. Number 5, the upward shot. Number 6, the daylight shot. Number 7, the drone shot. Number 8, the golden hour shot. Number 9, the color contrast shot. And lastly, number 10, the view shot. Now, after testing hundreds of photos, this is the official list that my team and I narrowed down to as the top performing shots, and I highly recommend that you try and capture these for your Airbnb. Now, although these are somewhat ranked from 1 to 10, the reason why any particular one of these photos might work best for you really depends on your property. This is why you need to try and capture as many of these shots as you can, and then figure out which one of these performs the best for your property. You can also mix and match different types of shots to get even better results. In fact, you can even look up the top performing properties in your area or even the entire country, find the ones that are most similar to your property, and then just copy their winning cover photo exactly. No, I'm just joking. Don't just steal their ideas. No. So that leads us to step 2, which is actually capturing these shots. In this step, you need to get professional photos.
You told me.
I didn't. No, I told you.
Swore you said.
But I don't mean hire a professional photographer like everyone else does and just send them to your property to take whatever shots they want. No, you need to send them there with the specific purpose of trying to capture and replicate these top 10 performing photo styles to the best of their ability. This is why whenever we work with a professional photographer, we actually send them there with an instruction guide on these top 10 performing photo shots. This includes lots of example photos of each of the 10 different photo shots and even include details on what factors are most important to replicate within each of these shots. So to help you get these top 10 performing photo shots for your Airbnb, I'm actually giving away our instruction guide that includes all of these details. This is literally what my company uses to get all of our top performing shots, and all you have to do is just hire a professional photographer and send them this PDF. Now, if you want a copy of this PDF, I'm giving it away for free, so pause the video right now, click the link in the description, and download your copy right now. Then come back and continue watching to see how you determine which one of these photos will actually be the winning profile picture that gets you the highest click-through rate possible. So lastly, step 3 is by far the most important part of the process and where you could see the biggest results. This step is to determine which one of the photos you have of your Airbnb is going to be the top performer and get the highest click-through rate. Now, the biggest mistake I see hosts make here is they just take their batch of nice photos and try and manually choose which one they think looks the best. Doing this without actually knowing which one is the top performer can end up causing you to miss out on a much higher click-through rate for your listing. Take this listing, for example. They've actually done an incredible job of getting extremely high quality photos that actually match a lot of the top performing shot qualities that we've identified as top performers. But which of their photos should be set as the cover photo? Care to take a guess? Don't worry, it's difficult to spot at first. But after spending thousands of dollars and endless hours testing hundreds of photos, I can tell you that I have absolutely no idea. The fact is, no one can predict which photo is gonna have the highest click-through rate or know what an audience is gonna naturally gravitate toward. It's the same reason why 12 book publishers passed on Harry Potter despite being experts in the industry with decades of experience. And that's why the only way to truly know what customers want is by putting it directly in front of them and actually observing what they choose. So how do you run one of these click-through rate tests? Well, you actually have a few different options, but the last one I'm gonna show you is by far the most superior. The first method is to just observe your search to listing conversion ratio on your Airbnb dashboard within a specified time period, and then manually replacing your cover photo after that same period of time and recording the click-through rate of each photo. Now, the downsides of this method is it could take a long time to get these results.
It's a waiting game right now. We won't know
The second method is to list the photos on a website like Poll Unit or Opinion Stage that lets users rate which one they think is the best picture. Now this will get you some insight into what people like more, but at the end of the day, it's not real click-through rate performance, but rather more opinions on what people think looks nicer. But the most superior method of testing to see which photos get the highest click-through rate is without a doubt A/B testing on Facebook. Facebook is one of the largest advertising platforms in the world, and companies spend billions of marketing dollars to reach the 3 billion users on Facebook. So to ensure these companies know where to direct their marketing efforts, Facebook created the most advanced testing tool for analyzing the real performance of a marketing creative. So to leverage this powerful tool, all you have to do is make an ad account on Facebook, which you could literally do in a few minutes, create a new A/B test campaign, and upload each of the photos you want to compare. Then you just give each of these pictures the exact same title, headline, and description to ensure they're all equal, and then set it to target users within your local audience's location. And to ensure you're really testing to your specific target audience within that location, you can even target users on Facebook who have an interest in Airbnb. What's amazing about this tool is Facebook will distribute these posts out to your audience as evenly as physically possible, and then provide you with detailed analytics on how each one of these photos performed against each other. This in just a few days will get you conclusive data on which one of your photos gets the highest click-through rate possible from your actual audience. Now, in my experience running hundreds of these creative tests, the reason why one particular photo wins is almost never what you'd expect. That's because it often comes down to factors we're not always aware of, like lighting, color contrast, composition, and several others. But yet any one of these discrete factors could be the reason one particular photo gets a 6% higher click-through rate than all the other similar photos. Now you might be thinking, wait, we did all that just for a 6% higher click-through rate? Great, so now I'll just get 6% more visitors? No. You see, when you have hundreds of similar listings for a given market, 95% of these listings will have a click-through rate within 1 to 2% of each other. The difference between a listing ranked 100 and a listing ranked 99 could be number 100 has a click-through rate of 1.4% and number 99 has a click-through rate of 1.5%. And even listing number 50 could just have a click-through rate of something like 2.3%. So if you're able to achieve a 6% click-through rate boost just by finding a winning cover photo, you could potentially move up your listing hundreds of places and possibly even to the top of page 1. Now this will in turn get you a lot more than 6% more visitors because of the exponential increase in traffic the closer you get to the top search results. Now, you'll have to spend around $50 to $100 to run this test, but you can actually set it so that the hundreds of interested people clicking on your photos can actually be taken from Facebook and Instagram over to your Airbnb listing to make a booking while you're testing. And as a little sneak peek too, by finding a high performing click-through rate photo for your Airbnb listing, you're actually completing the first step toward creating profitable Facebook and Instagram ads that can get you even more bookings without ever waiting for people to find you on Airbnb. But that's for a whole other video coming up later. By the way, if you're getting value from this content and like this style of video, be sure to subscribe to learn more of these new strategies on growing an Airbnb business.
Did we just become best friends? Yup!
The only other way we've been able to achieve greater results than this is by not just focusing on getting more volume to your Airbnb listing, but creating a listing that is able to turn more views into actual bookings. This is also extremely important because what most people don't realize is that on average, over 98% of people who visit your listing will not actually go on to make a booking with you. But while we were analyzing hundreds of listing photos, we actually found the perfect listing that is able to achieve a way higher booking conversion rate. So if you want to see what the perfect listing looks like so you can copy it and get way more bookings, then click the video right here.